Local 4 News starts now with a forewarned weather alert.
We'll begin here with live pictures from the roadways tonight. Darkness starting to settle in with these blustery winds making travel tricky all over Metro Detroit and beyond.
And we know the ice and wind a massive issue right now at Metro Airport as many people sit stranded ahead of the Christmas holiday.
Did not get as much snow, making the storm now a dual threat, though, with frigid temperatures and these really high winds, and it's still causing an awful lot of problems.
And now here are some of the broad strokes for you right now. We have seen a 40-degree drop in temperatures just in the past 24 hours. And then, in fact, just a short time ago, Governor Whitmer activated the State Emergency Operations Center. We know at this hour, right now at 5 o'clock, it has been activated. And then there are the roads. Road crews, plow crews all across the region working right now trying to clear the roads. But we know that blowing snow we've been telling you about is not helping matters at all.
Check out this new video from state police up in Bay County. A massive crash there has shut down I-75. So if your travel plans were to try and make it up north, you may have a workaround coming in Bay County as you head up 75.
Our reporters are out. They are in the thick of it tonight. Rod Maloney is with DTE crews. He is working with those folks who are trying to keep the lights on. Jacqueline Francis following that massive fire that had firefighters braving the elements for hours today.
Hank Winchester is out at Metro Airport and Tim Pamplin on the road tracking conditions there. Let's start things off, though, with Kim Adams and our forewarned forecast. Kim.
Well, as you said, we did not expect we expected more snow, and we did not expect the temperatures to be quite this low. We knew it was going to be cold, but we are below that. And that's part of the reason why we didn't get the snow is because of this very dry air mass, this Arctic air mass, and also the winds and the blowing. But regardless, we did get enough snow and enough ice underneath that snow to where the National Weather Service is keeping us under this winter storm warning. And the reason why, typically if we just had a couple inches of snow, we would be under maybe a winter weather advisory, certainly not a warning, but it's because of the frigid air, the blowing and the drifting causing extreme problems on the roadway. So even though it doesn't look like it's that bad, it's not that much snow, it's Michigan. But remember, there's that layer of ice underneath, and we are seeing several accidents across Metro Detroit. 4 at City Airport, also in Mount Clemens, 5 in Pontiac, 2 at Metro Airport, and 0 in Ann Arbor. Even though it's 0, it feels like it's 24 below in Ann Arbor. And the reason we're also cautioning up against travel is because if you do spin out, you have to sit in your car with temperatures that are well below, wind chills that are well below 0. So it's very cold. A 39 this is so incredible. A 39-degree drop in Ann Arbor. That happened between midnight and about 6 a.m. Temperatures just dropped so quickly overnight last night, and that's why we do have the ice. But the heaviest snow is up to our north. We'll continue to track things here in Metro Detroit on Exact Track 40 radar. Not quite done with the light snow here in Metro Detroit. I'll have a look at your travel forecast for the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kim, let's get a sense now of what it is like for folks who are trying, some having to get around at this hour.
Yeah, we are going to go ahead and kick off that part of our coverage tonight with Kim DeGiulio and Time Saver Traffic. Hey, Kim.
Here's your Time Saver Traffic.
Yeah, guys, well, it is slow out there. No matter what freeway you are heading toward, you can see that we've got the yellow, even orange arrows on our maps indicating that it is slow-moving traffic. And honestly, that is the good news, is that people are traveling cautiously because those conditions, if you're traveling at the posted speed limits, that is just far too fast for these conditions. Now, a few accidents to get around this evening over on eastbound I-96. The local lanes right at Evergreen here, we've got your left lane blocked through that area. And then a few to get around over on I-94. The eastbound lanes, we've got your left lane blocked right at Shane, and then another accident causing all sorts of slowdowns in the downtown area. Westbound I-94 just past the lodge here, your right shoulder is blocked, and you can see here cars traveling at just 9 miles per hour, so very slow through that area. But to give us a better look at what's happening on those roads, we've got our Tim Pamplin. He's been out all day driving in these conditions. Now, Tim, where are you right now? I can see that there's a light dusting of snow, but again, that could be deceiving, Tim.
It is very deceiving, Kimmy. This is southbound Van Dyke approaching 696. You see the traffic lights blowing in the wind here. That rain we got last night, that was that done us in basically. That sealed the deal. That put down a sheet of ice and the snow came on. These temperatures, the salt doesn't work. The salt can't melt this. So where you have snow-covered roads like this, it's a little bit better for traction because once that's been blown away or moved away by a snowplow, it just reveals a sheet of ice underneath. Treacherous driving conditions throughout the metro this evening. If you've got plans tonight or tomorrow or Christmas Day, you might want to get out, check the conditions in your neighborhood before you commit to doing any extended driving over the next couple of days. We're going to stay on the road for the next hour and a half, bring you updates from around the roads in our town. Back to you guys downtown.
All right, Tim. So folks getting around slowly on the roads. If you're trying to get through on the air, though, a far different story.
Lots of delays at the airport. Let's go ahead and take a live look at Metro Airport right now. And one thing we haven't seen today, not many takeoffs or landings. Instead, it's been a lot of delays, lots of cancellations. FlightAware's misery map here, as you're looking at it, proves just that. You are looking at Detroit, Seattle, and Denver leading the way with some of those delays and cancellations. Hank Winchester live at Metro Airport tonight with, he's out there with a lot of very frustrated travelers right now. Hank?
Yes, Sandra, it's been a very frustrating, tough travel day for thousands of people here at Detroit Metro. Let me give you a live look right now at the board. You can see there are many canceled flights. Albany, New York, Buffalo, Chicago, Cincinnati, Denver. The list goes on and on and on. And whether the flights are just full out canceled or delayed, as you can imagine, it has been causing many issues for many, many travelers.
It's a brutal day.
Howard Foltz is frustrated.
Well, I got an email yesterday morning at 8:30 saying our flight today that was supposed to leave at 8:25, direct nonstop to Seattle, was canceled.
He's like a lot of passengers right now at DTW. He's ready to go. The plane isn't.
30 minutes ago it was still on time, and then it just, in the last 30 minutes, they've delayed it. So
The wild weather canceling and delaying hundreds of flights.
just get there tonight. Yeah. It looks like now it's going to be middle of the night now before we get there. So
The whipping winds and ice causing the airport to temporarily close 2 runways. If you're flying out tonight, know that there are still delays and many cancellations. Check in with the airlines. Get here early.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to come in, check in, and go to Disney.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But some are in luck. This family taking off destination Florida.
Yeah, we're on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plane's on time, so we just got to get back there.
By now, they're enjoying Disney.
Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Let's go.
Back out here live at Metro. This is the look at the security line, the main security line here in the McNamara terminal. As you can see, not a huge crowd. In fact, things are moving fairly smoothly when it comes to security. The real issue is with the airlines. We're not just talking about Delta, but there have been delays and cancellations with Spirit, United over at the other terminal. So it is best to take the time, check in with the airline, make sure that your flight is in fact taking off on time, that it has not been canceled. A lot of people getting here, then checking the app, then getting that bad news. We're live here tonight at the airport. Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
Yeah, lots of frustrated travelers. All right, Hank, we're going to check back in with you coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right, let's move to a major fire early this morning that gutted a storage warehouse on Detroit's east side. This happened on East Lafayette near Grand Boulevard, forced a nearby apartment complex to be evacuated because of the smoke. Jacqueline Francis there for us now live. The cold weather and the wind could not have helped. This had to be a big struggle for firefighters, Jacqueline.
Devin, that's right. These conditions made it extremely difficult and dangerous for the firefighters to battle the flames 12 hours later. And you can see crews are still on scene. I can still see at least one hot spot burning from where I'm standing. The smoke, a whole different story. You can smell it, you can see it, but you can't see far because the visibility is limited because of that smoke blowing in the wind. All in all, this fire making it extremely difficult for all involved. It was the orange blaze that woke neighbors in a panic.
Panicked a little bit because we thought it was on the side of the house, so trying to get out as fast as we can if it was on fire.
The Detroit Fire Department responding around 5 this morning to a building on Lafayette near East Grand Boulevard where cars and boats were stored inside.
Unfortunately, the fire spread and the entire building was engulfed in flames. For precautions, we called a 4th alarm, which means we called more companies in.
Chief of Community Relations James Harris says 65 firefighters battled the blaze, a grueling task given the conditions.
It was below freezing temperatures. The wind was astronomical, And that can be difficult sometimes when fighting a fire because the wind direction can change. It can take the fire from one side to the next side. The fire can blow back on you.
The wind carried the smoke to neighboring buildings, including a 5-story apartment complex that had to be evacuated. 23 families taking to warming buses for shelter.
We didn't want any of those civilians to get smoke inhalation or breathe in that smoke. You don't know who has asthma or anything.
Nearby homes were also affected by the smoke.
In the house, you can smell it. So when I started smelling it, we got asthma, so I had to give my little sister her inhaler, and that's how strong the smoke is.
The good news, no injuries were reported, but out here tonight we've talked to a few people who are storing their classic cars or boats inside that storage unit. For them, absolutely devastating news to get in just a few days before Christmas. No word on the official cause of fire yet. They're still investigating. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Massive. All right, Jacqueline. Right now, DTE says about 11,000 customers are without power, most of them north of the line that is cut by I-69.
And you can see that right here as you look at this map. This is DTE's outage map. Crews are out there. They're in full force tonight working, trying to get the lights and the heat obviously back on for those folks in this very frigid weather. Rod Maloney caught up with crews out in Novi today. Rod?
Yeah, they're not allowed to talk to us, so we're not going to hear from them directly. But here's what we know. Right now, we're in Novi at 10 Mile and Taft, and they just finished fixing a major a power outage here, line down from earlier in the day. But just south of us here at 9 Mile and Novi Road, there's a big green splotch that just popped up on the DTE map. There's another new one on Wayne Road near I-94. Also in Fraser, this is one of the larger ones at 15 Mile and Gratiot. Rockwood has a sizable outage, and also Monroe near Ida Township has another area where they are working. But strangely enough, when you say only 10,000 outages, it's one of those things where it probably could have been a whole lot worse than it was, but without as much snow, we haven't seen as many outages as you might have expected. But let's remember that we are really just in the beginning of this storm. The wind is picking up, temperatures are going down. And so you might want to have have a blanket or two extra ready in case the power goes out in the middle of the night or something like that. But DTE says they are out in force. They've got about 18 or 1,900 assets on the street. You can see them right there. They were up, and boy, oh boy, that's got to be cold, up in a bucket in about a 25-mile-an-hour wind. And so they were here. They're out working. They're ready to go. So, guys, back to you.
From the firefighters to the power line workers, so many people have to be out and about in this
Your heart
stuff.
just goes out to them.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Rod.